All right, everybody. We got the technical issues worked out as much as possible. We got LEADUCATOR 810 is Officer Chad Gue out of the Ironton Police Department. He's the captain of the Ironton Police Department, so really excellent guy. Got Dutch, yeah, we got Dutch here. Dutch Doyle.
For your important police matters.
Yeah. So, anyways, I guess we'll call you Chad, or you want us to call you something else, or what's up?
You can call me what I've been called, all kinds of things. You're not gonna bother me.
Well, I have to reserve sweet cheeks for Dutch. He's my best.
If I call you what they used to call the cops in Brooklyn, you'd fucking hate me by the end of the interview.
Yep. All right, so go ahead and tell us a little bit about yourself.
Okay. Well, I'm a captain with the Ironton Police Department. I've been there since 2008. I am assigned to road patrol where I have officers serve underneath me. This all thing kind of blindsided me. So the fact that we're even going where we're at right now and doing interviews over some crazy stuff just blows my mind. So, this is an interesting experience. So, and I'm sure there's other people that's been familiar with this type of stuff before, but this is kind of new for small town Southern Ohio. So,
yeah. So, tell us how long you've been on the force and what got you started and all that.
Well, I actually started working for Ironton in 2008, and I worked for the sheriff's office here in St. County for just a little bit before that. So since 2006, I believe, I actually started as a law enforcement officer. And to be honest, I really don't know why I got into it. I don't know. I just kind of fell into it, a general interest. I mean, it was never like a super passion or anything like that, just kind of an interest thing. So, and it just kind of went from there.
That's cool.
Cut to the bullshit, Captain. How many rounds are you gonna take this asshole in?
Oh, can you hear him?
I can't hear him.
Hold on.
Can't hear. What the fuck up with?
There we go. Can you hear him now?
Chatty there?
Very low, but I hear you vaguely.
Okay, how many rounds are you gonna take this asshole
in?
How many rounds are you going to go with him before you kick his ass?
Well, honestly, when we were on Kick the other night, we actually done a poll on there for their viewers to determine how we were going to end this. And I'll be honest, they actually voted, I think, that they wanted me to knock him out. So honestly, it's kind of one of those things that it's probably going to be short and brutal, in my opinion.
I'm predicting knockout in 3. That's what I'm saying. Knockout in 3.
You say knockout?
Yep.
You're gonna knock him out in 3 rounds.
Well, in Kentucky, we're only going to fight 3 rounds. Like MMA in Kentucky is, unless it's a title fight of some sort, is 3 rounds of 3 minutes. So if it takes me 3 rounds to knock him out, I'm doing something wrong.
It might take you 2 rounds to catch up to him and be running around the ring away from you. So gotta tire him out. You're gonna tire the guy out first.
Yeah, honestly, he claims he's a tough guy. He keeps telling everybody he is, but like I said, and I said it on Kick the other day, you know what? I've got an octagon-shaped lie detector test waiting in September. If he's a tough guy, here's his opportunity. He can show up and prove to everybody. What was that?
He might Ranger himself right out of there. He might morph into something.
So I'm really having a tough time hearing him.
Oh, hold on. I'm just going to call your ass Dutch. That way he can hear you better.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, he was too ugly to be on the stream. we go. Now I can hear you.
You got to be careful in the ring, brother. He may morph into a Power Ranger. He's got these special moves that he can do.
I know. I keep hearing how tough he is. I guess when you brainwash people to be able to do the things you want to do anyway, it's pretty easy to convince yourself of your own expertise. I don't know. He claims he's maybe a wrestler or something. I don't know, but I just like I said, I told my jiu-jitsu instructor the other day, and I mean it still. If he's such a good wrestler, I will give him credit. If he's a good wrestler, I promise I will wake him up after the fight and tell him that he done a good job wrestling.
Well, he may be a good wrestler, but there's one thing we both know: he ain't no fucking cop, and he ain't gonna last too long. So we got that.
Well, my whole thing is, this was something that he said all along. He wanted to beat up a cop. He wanted to get in the cage of the cop or whatever. And I guess he just didn't anticipate anybody taking him up on it. But, I told him immediately I would. And then actually, even after I agreed to it, I reached out to a promoter in the area that puts on the MMA fights and asked him if he could get us. What's that?
No, I didn't say anything.
I did the same thing with Glenn. I got right in the gym the next day, and I went for 6 months every day. And I think Serial was ready to go in to get the ring at first, but when he saw me working on it every day for 6 months, and I was doing a video every day at the gym, he backed off.
Yeah,
I took it seriously. I was gonna wipe the floor with him, tweak his leg in the whole 9 yards. But he backed off.
Yeah.
You get discipline, you get the jiu-jitsu working for you, you're a big guy, you get a long reach. I don't think Chille's got anything on you.
Yeah. In my experience of what I've been around fighters, generally speaking, the guy with the loudest mouth is usually kind of full of it. And he definitely has a black belt in mouth kwando, that's for sure. Like he definitely likes running his mouth. And that doesn't bother me. Like, if you want to run your mouth or whatever, that's fine. I don't really care. He's got his people convinced, and that's fine. I mean, that's none of my business. But if he really is a tough guy and he really is what he says he is, I've got the opportunity he can show everybody in September. He said that I was out of shape, I'm fat, I'm weak, I have no skill, no fight. I don't know how he seems to think he knows so much about me. I don't know, but nevertheless, that's great. If he's that confident, he shouldn't have any problem beating me. And then he can go around bragging that he got his cop and he got to beat one up in the cage. But there's a big difference in saying it behind a camera and talking about how tough you are and actually standing toe to toe with somebody that's going to be punching you in the face. Mike Tyson said it best: everybody's got a plan until they get punched in the face, and that's the reality. Is if he really is a tough guy, he'll show it in September. I don't think he really anticipated the fact that I was really taking him up on this, but I meant every word I said. Let's do it for charity. I want to do this for St. Jude's. I want to do this for the right reasons.
We get into a fight with a guy, we'll hold it on for dear life. It's life and death with us. With him, it's you win, you lose. With us, you're going home in a boxer, you lose. For us, right. It's a cold reality. For him, it's a fairy tale.
Yeah. Well, I promise if he's living a fairy tale, I'll wake him up with my first overhand right.
Well, so keep everything real secret till you get him. Once you get what you want, make it quick.
You know what? I'm confident enough to tell him that I'm going to hit him with an overhand right, and there's not anything he can do about it. Nothing.
Okay, you're 6'9". You're going to kill a guy.
I'm 6'2", so I'm.
He's never going to come to Jesus.
Yeah, he's and maybe he is. I don't know. Maybe he is super skilled. I mean, some of the stuff that I've heard, like him telling people, I mean, it just kind of blew my mind. Like, him saying that he trained under such and such and was going to fight UFC guys or whatever. And I don't know. I mean, maybe he did, but I mean, I don't want to say any. I mean, I don't know to call somebody honest or not. I don't know, but it doesn't matter because you're not fighting them. You're fighting me, and I'm going to bring everything I got. I'm going to do it for the right reasons. I did it for charity. And just like I said, and honestly, and I'm going to give you guys a heads up. As of now, I spoke to the promoter again today. The promoter actually come to our gym to actually interview some of the fighters that were from our gym. And I spoke to him again today, and he has confirmed yet again that he has not reached back out, that he has not shown any interest in contacting him, that he messaged him on Facebook or whatever it was. And he actually showed me physically on his phone the Facebook message that he had sent him, and he had not even opened it. Now, the way I look at it is, if he's truly civic-minded, like he says he is, if he's truly wanting to do something good for the community and for a charity, like he said, here's your opportunity. He wanted to beat a cop up. Here's your opportunity. You've got 3 3-minute rounds. You got 9 minutes of your life that you can dedicate to this, that you can beat me up, do something for a good cause, do something for a good charity, and actually have a pretty good exposure from it. You can have a pretty good, excitement from it. It's going to be, whatever. I'm sure it'll probably be a big deal with all the YouTube followers from here and there. So I'm quite sure this would be a great opportunity for him to show what a tough guy he is and do it for the right reasons. Only thing he's got to do is
Only in his sex life.
What's that now?
You couldn't hear you.
I said 9 minutes. He's gonna fight you for 9 minutes. That's 8 minutes longer than his sex life.
And 59 seconds of it is putting a condom on the other guy.
Well, I'm glad you're giving it to charity. I was gonna give mine to the Wills and Orphans Fund to the NYPD. I hear you giving it to the FLP, Patrol of the Police.
Could you hear him?
I can't hear him at all. It sounds like he's a million miles away.
Hey, speak closer to the microphone, Dutch, or the phone.
On my phone, Artie. I said, I'm glad you said giving it to charity. When I was going to do the fight with Glenn, all the money was going to go to the NYPD's Widows and Orphans. You're doing the Fraternal Order of Police. I'm glad to see that.
You know what? I offered the FOP to begin with, and he immediately declined that and said that he would never agree to anything that benefits the FOP. But my challenge actually was that if I win, we would give it to the FOP. So if he's so certain and he's such a tough guy, like he tells everybody on YouTube that he is, he shouldn't be afraid that he's going to lose. I'm not afraid I'm going to lose. I'm 100%. I'm not going in to finish second place. I'm literally going in and I'm training every single day. I'm working jiu-jitsu and stand up and the whole 9 yards every single day in order to go in there and win. I'm not concerned about losing. If he's a tough guy, he says he is. If he's done this, he's done that, then what's he worried about? He's going to beat up this fat, weak cop and have an easy day out of it.
Work on the ground game. Going to the ground. Work on that ground game.
Oh, my ground game's just my ground game's fine.
Yeah, and I would say on average, once a week or a month or something like that, at least you've got to arrest somebody that's resisting arrest. I'm just guessing. I don't know, but that would be my guess.
Yeah, sometimes a lot more than that. Sometimes a lot less than that. But I'm in the gym. I'm working out some way 7 days a week. I've had no days off since I started this fight training camp. And I'm literally training jiu-jitsu with some of the best grapplers anywhere. Some guys that are as good as anybody. Very, very skilled guys, upper belt guys, and there's a couple pro MMA fighters that fight at our gym that I'm working with and stuff. And there's no doubt in my mind that, I'm going to bring an A game, and he better put the phone down and hit the gym a little bit, because I can promise you right now, his sprints and his push-ups he's doing is not going to save him from getting choked.
Well, get ready for the reality. It's never going to happen. This fight will never happen.
Well, you know what? Let's hope that if there's any decency in him at all, and I'm not going to speculate either way, that's not my business, but if there's any decency in him at all, this is a charity for something that's wonderful. I'm sure you guys can agree. The opportunity to give to St. Jude's is an amazing thing. It's a great institution, and it's something awesome. So the way I look at it is, would it not be worth it to go in for 9 minutes of your life? 9 minutes, 3-3-minute rounds, 9 minutes of your life. Even if you lose 9 minutes, you can't tough it out 9 minutes for a good cause for a institution like St. Jude's. So if you're civic minded, you want to do things, you want to do the right things for the right reasons, here's your opportunity. It was his idea. If he really wants to do it, this is his chance.
Put up or shut up.
His mouth is running checks his body can't cash.
Yep. And I kind of tend to think that either he's full of it and he had no intention of doing it ever, and he just didn't anticipate somebody actually taking him up on it, or he's somehow delusional in his own mind that thinks that he can just show up that day and put together a fight. Because if that's the case, he has truly never actually been in a fight, in a ring, in a cage, on a mat, anything. Because I can promise you right now, I actually laughed at one of the comments that was on my YouTube or channel there before, where the guy actually made the comment and said, it takes your boy like 4 months to prepare for a fight. They're like, obviously you have no clue about fighting, because everybody prepares for months for a fight. That's how it works. You know, if you don't put in at least 3 or 4 months for a fight, you're probably not, unless you're in super fight conditioning.
Dutch, let me call you on Discord real quick. That way you're on my iPad and he can hear you better.
All right, bye.
It's fun to be able to do this to fuck with Dutch a little bit, but I'm trying to do it easier for you.
Yeah, because I can't hear him at all. It just sounds like a very faint thing. So
yeah, we'll get through this.
oh, it's not a problem to me, man. I'm having fun with this. Let's, you know, the way I look at it is.
All right. Into your anthem, Dutch. Come on. Hey.
Network?
Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
Much.
Better.
There we go.
You guys don't realize it takes months just to get your stamina up. So you need to start working 6 months before fighting.
Can you hear him now?
I can't make him out. It still sounds like it's a lot of rustling.
Oh, you can I'll watch, and I'll get with him later on.
All right. All right. Yeah, he's going to. Damn it. Who am I calling? Damn it. All right, damn it. There we go. Hey, Dutch. That wasn't him. That was my phone. I always have problems with streaming. It doesn't matter. Oh, yeah. Let's see. What's up, Doug? All right, here we go. So yeah, it's like the guy was saying that it takes like 4 months to wrestle. I mean, to get ready for a fight is too long. And if you're saying, yeah, you don't realize how long it takes to get into a real sanctioned match and all that stuff. You want to be at your best condition, both of you, so you can give each other the best.
Well, what I've learned is everybody's a tough guy from the couch and behind the keyboard. And everybody's an expert. You know, I get a kick out of these guys that watch UFC and they sit back and say, why don't he just do this? Or I would just do this. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's not what you think. I promise you, if it was, then everybody would be a champ, right? But the truth of it is, it's not something that you get ready for. Even if I was in the shape that I have been in the past, I would still want at least 2 or 3 months to prepare, just because I don't know anything about this guy. You know, he says he was a wrestler. He says he done something or whatever in high school, or I don't know, whatever. But I have no tape on him. I have no information on him. I have no training background on him to prepare. So I'm literally preparing for a very broad spectrum of a fight game plan. So, and we were talking about my head coach today, literally, that we were talking in the gym, and that's what he was saying. He said, we're going to train for him like like everything he says is true. We're going to train for him like he really was a freestyle wrestler and won all these awards or whatever. I don't know. But that's what we're preparing for. That's what we're doing.
Oh, he's full of shit. He says that he trained with Ken Shamrock and another MMA fighter. And I'm sorry, but they have both said, no, we don't know who this guy is. Plus, Ken Shamrock tapped out against Horace Gracie in one of the first MMA fights ever. Ken Shamrock's a tough badass. I mean, he even came back here not too long ago and fought, but still, he knows nothing about it. Jiu-jitsu, that's like the thing that wins the most MMA fights, regardless. When you go to ground, jiu-jitsu, from what I've seen, my opinion, bam, it's over.
Well, there's 3 things that we focus on in preparing for this fight that we're working in the gym right now. I'm training kickboxing, stand up. It's like Muay Thai type Dutch style kickboxing or Muay Thai, as well as wrestling, because wrestling takedowns are probably the best takedowns. And being able to control the fight, depending on where the fight goes. Wrestling really determines if you're going to fight on your feet or on the ground, because if your takedowns are good and you want to go to the ground, you can. If your takedown defense is good and you don't want to go to the ground, you can keep it from it. That being said, there is no doubt in my mind that the stand-up boxing, kickboxing with wrestling, and then obviously with the jiu-jitsu and working the ground, and actually doing the submissions, that's certainly a good way to control the fight on the ground and actually, finish a fight if you choose to that way. So I don't know what kind of training he has. And, there's no doubt about, how good the Shamrock name is and the Shamrock gym is, but it doesn't matter if you're full of it, you didn't really do it. And secondly, it doesn't really matter ultimately anyway if he doesn't sign this fight. I mean, it was his idea. He wanted to do it. He said he wanted to do it for charity. He agreed to it literally on my YouTube channel. He actually said that he would do it. He was all in. And I know for a fact that the promoter has reached out to him 2 or 3 times, or well, I shouldn't say that. I know that he's reached out to him at least once, and he had made mention that he was going to again. So I don't know if he has yet or not, but I know that he's reached out to him at least once, and it's just crickets. So if you really want to do this, for the right reasons, then do it. Step up, agree to do this. July 9th, they're wanting us to do a signing of the contract officially July 9th to go in the cage at the first event, sign this fight, and in September put this together and actually do this for a good reason. It's perfect opportunity. And he can show the whole world. He can prove you wrong. He can prove me wrong. He can prove, Blue Bacon wrong or Kick wrong, or whoever that he says is always saying, that he's lying or whatever. Okay, well, here's your chance. You can go in there, you can beat somebody, beat a police officer up, and still make money for charity. And you know what? If he beats me, I'll shake his hand on the way out, because we still all win because St. Jude's got charity.
Exactly.
I mean, so let's do this. Let's do it for the good of the community. The community loves this idea. I am approached constantly all the time from people being like, "Oh man, I'm so excited. You think you'll really fight? You think you'll really fight?" Well, I hope. I'm staying positive. I'm staying hopeful that maybe, just maybe, he really will keep good on his word and say, "Yeah, let's do this." But right now, I don't know, because as of right now, I have no reason to think that he's telling the truth or not.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'll fill you in on the details offline, but he will have to address this verbally. He'll have to verbally say something one way or the other, but you'll love it. But trust me, he is going to have to answer it. I've got something working, so yeah, we'll get him. He's going to have to answer it one way or the other.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you this, and this is what I hope, is that we can generate enough noise, so to speak, about this to where if he doesn't want to do this, that he's at least going to have to say, "I don't want to do it," because if he don't want to do it, he doesn't do it, but at least say so, and if he does want to do it, he needs to step up and go ahead and work with me. We don't have to be enemies on this to make this a good event for a good charity. I mean, why don't we work together on this? We could work together and make this big. He's got a good following. You know, use your following. Let's do this. I have been told. Now, I haven't actually seen this, and I don't watch his videos. I don't ever watch them just because it doesn't really appeal to me. I feel like a lot of it is just nonsense, and he's kind of going around just kind of picking on people behind a camera type thing. And he's kind of trolling people, in my opinion. But so I don't really care to watch it. But I've been told that several times there's already been people mentioning his live streams that, you know, I've agreed to the fight and that the promoter's trying to get a hold of him and he's blatantly ignoring him. So
Yeah,
I don't know that.
Yeah, 2 people did last night in the live stream.
Okay, so you can confirm that.
Yes, it is in the video chat. You can see it. It's in there.
Okay.
So I know it's there. Plus, I'm working on with some people that are going to definitely say, "Hey, Chille, look, right now, here and now, answer the question: Will you honor your challenge? You asked, yes or no. Are you going to do it? And if not, why? Come on, why not? Man up."
Right.
Not so much, you know, like try to cause a fight or anything, but like, look, you know, it's all for charity. You guys, you said this. You issued the challenge in the auto auction. Come on, do it.
Right.
So
he'd actually mentioned to me about the challenge when I was this was one of his first videos in Ironton. He come up and pecked on my window when I was there and said that you know, he said, "I'd hate to get in a cage with a beast like you," or something like that. And then I said, "Well, actually, I'd like to take you up on that." And that was before I'd actually even talked to my wife about it. So, but I
got the ultimate say.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. So, but then, you know what, when we kind of all agreed on it, and then I got a hold of my buddies in the fight game and in the gym and said, "Hey, you know, it's time for the old man to kind of get back going here. Can we get me back in shape for a fight?" And they said, "Yeah, let's do it." So I kind of put together everybody and I called up the promoter and everything after that. I mean, I've been working on this kind of behind the scenes for a while, you know. And when we finally got it arranged where I knew I could officially not just be talk, but I knew I could mean it, that's when I made that video. I think you'd actually seen that video. You might have even shared that video. I can't recall, but
yeah, I got a couple of your videos I got to share out. I've been bad this weekend. I had family come in. Let's just put it that way.
I understand. Well, this one was one that I actually literally kind of said, "Hey, you know what? I'd like to officially offer, you know, this for, you know, a fight." And you know, he immediately, like, he got on my channel and he commented like 10 times over and over and over. Like, I mean, just like almost like he was like acting like it was a live stream or something. I don't know, but he commented and said, "Let's do it." And then of course he comments about how much he's going to beat me up, and it doesn't matter what shape I'm in, yada yada yada, and whatever, and you know, I don't stand a chance. I don't know what all he said, but that was kind of the idea of his messages. But so I just said, well, you know, we'll find out in September. I mean, you know, the talking back and forth, I'm not impressed by that. I don't really care. You can talk, your people can talk. I mean, you know, your people don't like me because I'm a police officer, period. You don't know me, but you don't like me because I'm a police officer. And your people like you because you've convinced them of something that you are or do or whatever. And that's perfectly fine. It's none of my business. But I will say this, if there really is truth behind what you're saying, this is your golden opportunity. I mean, if you're really a tough guy, like you say, you're this super wrestler and kickboxer or whatever, I don't know what all you said, man, you should beat the crap out of me. I mean, literally, I'm just a old fat one-armed guy from, you know, the Appalachia area, you know. So it's like, what are you so worried about? You should just mop the floor with me. You know, I had surgery literally a year ago on my arm. I literally, and I mentioned this during the kick interview the other day. Yeah, I literally, my right arm is probably only about 30% of what it was, and I'm still doing this. You know, I'm 50 pounds overweight from what I feel comfortable at, but I'm still doing this because it gives me a reason to motivate me to push. But furthermore, it's a good cause. It's a good reason to do it. Yeah, it's exciting. It's fun. You know, it's one more thing that you can kind of put the feather in your cap and say, hey, you know what? You know, I challenged the cop like I said it was, and I fought him. You know, so if he really is so civic minded, let's do this. Like I said all along, you know, his views of the Constitution and his ideas of what he thinks freedom and liberty is, to me, is not freedom and liberty. It's anarchy. That's just my opinion, but I really believe that there have to be laws in place and there have to be someone there to enforce them in order to guarantee fair freedom for everybody. Because sure, pure anarchy is free for somebody. It's free for the top of the food chain, but it's not going to be free.
Power.
Sure. So it's going to be freedom for the person that's at the top that ultimately will become an emperor. But in order to guarantee in a constitutional republic, to guarantee freedom for everybody, for the people that can't defend themselves, for the people that are not able to be at the top of the power chain, there needs to be laws in place and there needs to be enforcement officers, peace officers, in order to be able to guarantee those freedoms and protection. And if you can't see that, if you just want to constantly walk around with a camera just to cause trouble, you're not looking for solutions, man. You're looking for likes and views, and you're looking for content for YouTube. If you really want change, if you really do believe the system is so flawed, and I'll be honest with you, I'm not saying the system's perfect, but I don't by any means think it's anywhere near like the auditors that you see on that. That's nonsense. You're just, you know, like I said the other day, you see these guys and they go in these public buildings, and because it's a public building, oh well, I can go in here and I can do this and I can do that. Well, you do realize that at some point you're still just being an idiot. I mean, the reality is, just because you have the right to do something doesn't mean you really should do it. Because you know what? You have the right to go do a lot of things, but it doesn't make you smart if you do.
Yeah.
So,
and the other thing too is like what I say about those frauditors. Just because you have the First Amendment right to do it doesn't mean that it's socially acceptable. There's social norms and standards. And when you violate those, especially in certain communities, that's called disturbing the peace, breaching breaching something or whatever, but disturbing the peace, disorderly conduct,
sure,
and stuff like that. And with delete laws, or old Chille, he proposes this whole transparency thing. I don't know if you've ever seen that or not. Basically,
no, I don't.
Do you, in wrestling back in the mid-90s, do you remember Bret the Hitman Hart?
Sure.
He had those glasses that, you know, will wrap around or whatever. Well, Chille has this idea that you have transparency officers. You wear these things where it's got 360-degree view and all that stuff. And there's two agencies. One is this Montesquieu, or I call it Money Screw You, that has ultimate say over it, and another reporting agency. And they're being watched the whole time. And they're told, well, if they're breaking the law, you can do it. You have no guns, nothing. And you know, and there's these transparency busts that come along to where if you're high in drugs, PCP or whatever, you can go and beat the punching bag up and all that to get rid of torture cuffs, as he calls them. There's these little things that you have to wrap around them, but if you get hurt or killed or whatever, oh well. And you've got to be re-educated on this bus on top, and something about snipers if you ultimately don't do it. But if you break in, I mean, you can't go into a house or whatever if you're uninvited. If there's a domestic disturbance, yeah, fine. You're supposed to go in between the husband and the wife, but you can't arrest him unless he wants to go along. You can't come in unless they say okay. You can't arrest anybody unless they agree upon it.
Oh wow, that's an interesting philosophy.
Oh yeah, there's a lot more. I mean, it is insane. To me, he was fucking high as shit when he came up with this shit. And there's a lot of us that have made videos just mocking him and all this stuff. I mean, especially on my channel, there's some stuff where I've made fun of him. Even when he was supposed to be out at the Dallas federal courthouse here a couple weeks ago to file this one lawsuit before he headed back to court in Ironton, I spent all day out there during business hours waiting for him. I'm wearing these Bret the Hitman Hart glasses on, mocking him and all this stuff. And shows you how much of a real hero he is. He stuck in the back way at the last minute of the courthouse to get that lawsuit filed, and he left while I'm out there. But anyways, just he's got this whole idea of what's going on. He's tried to patent says he's got a patent on these Velcro alternative to handcuffs that that'll work, you know, and they won't cause injury or PTSD. Yeah, right.
Okay, here would be my argument to this, and I would actually like to have a conversation with him, because I mean, like I said, I'm not an argumentative guy, and I'll hear him out as long as he hears me out as well. But here would be my stance on it: is as I'm assuming that he's a huge advocate of First Amendment, and that's perfectly fine, and so am I. I'm a huge constitutionalist. And I'm assuming that he's also feels that way about the Second Amendment, which is beautiful. You know, I'm obviously, you can tell by my YouTube channel, I'm all about Second Amendment. I'm a complete gun guy. I love our Second Amendment rights, and I exercise them all the time. I love, you know, recreational shooting and competition shooting, the whole 9 yards. And I actually teach some defensive pistol classes and stuff for some different places around the area. But it's the same argument that we as constitutionalists make about the Second Amendment for gun control. And he's trying to validate the opposite side, which is kind of weird to me. Like, okay, let's get this straight. So you're telling me that we can't tell people that they can't have guns because we know that criminals are still going to get guns. That's a huge argument for the pro 2A guys and myself as well.
Oh, no. You're not allowed to have guns. Everybody else can. That's his whole thing.
Well, no, I'm literally, well, I'm basically attacking his ideals about the glasses or whatever. I don't know, but if you're saying that, you know, the criminals will still get guns. If we take all the guns away, we know the criminals are still going to get guns. I'm sure everybody can logically agree that even if we had gun control, which I don't agree with by all means, but let's say if we did, you and I can probably sit right here and know that criminals are still going to get guns. We know it because we know that drugs are illegal and criminals still get drugs, correct? Okay, so if you don't expect criminals to mind your gun control laws, why do you think that criminals are going to mind your transparency laws? Why do we think that criminals are going to say, oh, you know what? Man, there comes that guy with the RoboCop glasses. I guess he's going to watch me real mean like. You know, I honestly, I was kind of waiting on him one day because, like, you know, there for a while he was like hanging out in front of the police department, like waiting to encounter people when they came in or whatever. And I was actually going to ask him, you know, when we would leave the station, if we would get a heated call, and I was going to say, hey, why don't you go with me and you handle this one? You know, we got a heated domestic. You ride with me. We'll stay in the car and you go handle it. Take your phone and video this guy as he's literally being physical with his family members or whatever it may be, maybe hurting his wife or whatever. I don't know, but see how that works for you. Because I can tell you, even with body armor on and the weapons that we have, it doesn't mean anything. They don't care. I mean, if you're in a heightened state that you're that aggravated and you're violent, you're just violent, and you're going to be violent with us. We get there and we'll be in knockdown dragouts with people, you know, because they're not going to just concede. So I don't know what world he's living in, but that's just craziness. Like, it doesn't, I mean, it's not even real. I'm not even so sure, in my opinion, that he really believes it. I think it's more just kind of a way to see how far he can go down the rabbit hole to get followers. I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
The one thing about him is that with his history, he is known to push narratives and all that, and to exploit people to line his own pocketbook. Tina Slay Slay Richardson is her name. I'm going to put you in contact with her later on. But anyways, she was up in Missouri and all that, and her son was killed by a cop. I think it was a DEA agent. It was ruled justifiable. I don't know more details than that. I'm going to interview her one day. I just have to arrange it with her because I made it deliberate that I don't know the facts of her case, so I can't say one way or the other, you know, what's right or wrong. But, you know, she's got a problem with it, but she's not out after cops. Chille comes into her house and, you know, basically made himself more than at home. And he basically took over and was trying to push people around, and if they weren't saying on camera what they liked, you know, he'd nudge them and stuff like that. And he's going around there making threats against the black community, black leaders, a famous rapper, Khalid Kweli. God, somebody will say it in chat, but some major rapper, you know, that's got some clout, and he'd been protesting even before Michael Brown and Trayvon and all that stuff, you know, and he got called out on it, and he threatened all these people. There's videos of it. I Speak 1908 or something like that. It's one of the TikTok guys on there, and he got chased out. He got his own account deleted and all that, and says that it was a cancel culture. It wasn't. They called him out on his bullshit and all that, and he got basically tarred and feathered virtually and fled out. And then this is back not even a year ago. And then starting around December timeframe, that's when he started this whole YouTube stuff. And he's got a cult personality. I mean, that's true. He's not a bad looking guy. He's, you know, I mean, he's smart, he's intelligent, he could be a little bit funny, but
Right.
and people are going to flock to that stuff, and he knows how to mix a crowd because he's from Hollywood, you know, he's been around that.
Sure.
But
You know, I actually even told him when I very first spoke to him, I said, you know, if you want to have a debate, you want to have a conversation, I'm perfectly fine with it. However, it needs to be a reciprocating conversation. Like, I don't want you just coming up here and ambushing me and literally start shouting off nonsense, because that's not how it goes. If you really want to know my views on something, then when you ask, you have to wait till I answer, because that's how it works. Otherwise, you don't really care what I have to say. You just want to literally tell you know, you talk about how transparency and how it's an open mic, man, open mic for you. And that's fine. And that's perfectly fine. But I didn't ask for your open mic. I don't need anything to prove. I mean, I'm not the one going out here just picking random arguments with people. And just like I told him, I said, you know, you seem like an intelligent guy. I don't have a problem having a discussion with you. And I openly told him then, if you have a complaint against one of my officers, bring it to me and I will investigate it. That's the best I can. I don't know what you want me to do. Like, you want me to literally call them guilty until proven innocent. And I'm not going to do that, because I give the same right to everybody else. You know, and the truth is, I know the merit of my officers. I've seen it. I witnessed it. Heck, I trained a lot of them. I know what they're capable of. I know what they're doing. I know the preaching that I give them day in, day out. When I tell them, plain and simple, your primary job is not enforcing law. Your primary job is to maintain and uphold the Constitution of the United States and of the state of Ohio, to protect the rights, freedoms, and liberties of every citizen here, because that's what we're for. Now, sometimes that means we have to enforce a law in order to guarantee those rights and freedoms for everybody. But that's not what we strive for. You know, I personally, I don't like putting people in jail. I don't like it. I don't like arresting people and putting them in jail. And I can honestly say, I don't think most of our guys do. You know, sometimes it's just the only alternative that we have to the situation. Like, what else are you going to do with them? So, but I can tell you, and, you know, just like you said, I'm not denying the fact that he's probably pretty good at marketing, obviously, in some way. You know, he's essentially marketing, in my opinion, he's marketing a product. And he's basically, and basically he's doing well with it. You know, he's getting followers and he's getting people to believe his stuff and whatever. And that's perfectly fine. And if he is so truly righteous about it, he's truly wanting to do it, he really does love these communities that he goes around randomly to, then here's his opportunity to show the love back for Ironton in the tri-state area here. You know, because, okay, you want to do something good. You want to do something for a charity. Okay. You want to do something for the community. Okay. You want to show the world. You want to show your 50,000 plus whatever viewers that you have, followers that you have. You want to show them how tough you are and how you mean what you say and say what you mean, and you're going to beat this cop up. Okay. I'm more than willing. I'm literally getting ready. However, I don't think he wants to get in a fight. I think he wants somebody to just go in and let him beat on him. And that's not going to happen. If he beats me, he's going to have to stand toe-to-toe with me and beat me. He's going to have to be able to outbox me. He's going to have to be able to out-wrestle me. He's going to have to be able to out-grapple me. And that's perfectly fine if he does. I mean, I can't say otherwise. I don't expect him to go in there and lay down, because I'm not going to lay down. But this is his opportunity. Once again, you know what? I'm completely sick. I don't hate the guy. I don't know him. I don't have a reason to hate him. I think he's been rude. You know, I don't like how he treated some of my younger officers when he very first came to town. I don't think that was nice. I think that he probably handled that wrong. I think that he came in and he was more interested in being confrontational than he was really of actually getting results of what he said his cause was. But nevertheless, it's not, I mean, what did you achieve? And there was actually an officer that asked him in one of the videos that somebody else was filming. Of course, he wasn't filming it, but there was an officer that actually asked him and said, when he kept saying, we're suing people, we're doing this, and the officer literally looks at him and goes, yeah, but how many of you won? Oh, well, we're just getting started. Okay, so that's your way of saying none, because you have to have a reason. In the law, and I'm not an attorney and I don't pretend to be, but generally speaking in law, the word reasonableness is applied to everything. Are your actions reasonable? Was it reasonable to believe this would be the outcome? Was it reasonable to believe this was a criminal intent? Yada, 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 whatever. And if it's not, then there's potentially an issue. But if it is deemed reasonable, you don't have a leg to stand on. And that's exactly what it appears to be. I don't know about anything else that's going on, and I'm not going to speak on the lawsuits because I don't speak for the department anyway. I'm speaking on my own behalf.
Yep.
But I will say, by all means, if he's so certain about his lawsuits, you don't have to go around shouting about it all the time. You don't have to constantly go around saying, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you, I'm going to sue you. If you're really so confident about it, then just sue him. If he was literally going to sue everybody. Like, I had people contacting me on Facebook and be like, this guy just messaged me on Facebook and said he's going to sue me. Just because. I don't even know why. I mean, I'm thinking to myself, like, dude, that's not really how it works.
He's threatened to sue me because when I was on the Dallas Federal Courthouse, I mean, I'm literally sitting on the building and I'm reading off his criminal record that I got from being verified, and he was saying, "Oh, it's a lie, it's a lie, it's a lie." They're defaming me. Yeah, we're waiting for the lawsuit, and yeah, I mean, hell, he threatened to sue the Sheriff Lawless for walking into the lobby like in the middle of the night for pumping music into the lobby, and I'm sure you've been in there a few times. I'm more to bet you it's played that way for years.
You know what? I don't even know. I mean, yeah.
Oh, I know. You can only say so much because of your job. I understand. Trust me.
Yeah, and here's the thing too is I'm not even, honestly, when I do these interviews, like I don't even want to do them because of my job. I don't want to do them because of my position, because it's completely irrelevant. I'm doing this as Chad. I mean, I'm doing this because honestly, it's an opportunity to do something good. It's an opportunity to do something good for the community, do something good for a great charity, and do something that actually motivates me to get off my butt and get back in shape. I'm having a great time doing it. I'm feeling good. I'm dropping the weight like I want to. I'm doing everything that I want to do. And honestly, I'm kind of thankful to him for that. Because his actions, even though they were negative, his actions led me to where I'm at right now. So if there's any way that your viewers or anybody else can get word back somehow without, I'm not encouraging anybody to do anything silly or don't aggravate him or whatever, but if we can get word back that the promoter's just trying to get a hold of him. He said he wanted us to get a hold of him. He said he wanted to do this fight. Well, the promoter's trying. So please get back a hold of him. The promoters.
We'll definitely get him addressed because I know a few things that we're working on, not to instigate, make him back down or anything like that, but he's going to have to answer yes or no at least about the fight, regardless.
Right.
And yeah,
but
it's yes or no.
And that's just it. Is like, I mean, if he doesn't want to do it, don't waste my time. Don't waste everybody else's time. Don't waste, all your viewers too that you've told that you're going to do this and stuff. And you've obviously have agreed to everything. I mean, I've got the comments where he says, yes, I'm in 100%. When he posted and said he was. So what are we waiting on? Get back to the promoter. The promoter's name is Mike Sark. And Mike Sark has literally reached out to you and said, whatever he said, I didn't read his mess, none of my business. But the point is, he did reach out. He is saying that, he wants to promote this. He wants to do this. He wants to put this fight together. Answer him. I know you're busy. You're doing whatever, but it takes less than a minute to just say, yes, I will work it out to be there in July, We'll work this out and get this going or whatever. And then you can go right back to putting cameras in everybody's faces. But
well, I know he's got another appearance, if I remember correctly. He's got to be there in June for his next court date.
Yeah, it's possible. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I just, from what I've been told, like,
I don't follow.
Somebody just texted me, said he's got one in 4 days.
Oh, okay.
May 19th, he's right back in front of the judge. God, I don't remember his name. Waldo.
Yeah.
Judge Waldo, I think it is, isn't it?
Yeah, Waldo's the municipal judge.
Yeah. So he's going to be there on the 19th.
Okay.
So yeah.
And like I said, you know what happens with his criminal case? I don't really care. It's a business.
Yeah,
I mean, honestly,
you've got
and even the opportunity that, you know, whatever he feels about me or he says about me, I don't really care. I mean, you know, he talks smack about everybody, seems like. I mean, and that's perfectly fine. You don't like me, you don't have to. You don't like my department, you don't have to. But surely you want to do something positive for the community. Surely you want to do something positive for St. Jude's. So do it.
Ironton's his new hometown now.
That's what he says.
Even though he stays in Kentucky and doesn't eat or shop in Ironton when he's there.
Yeah. Yeah. So
anyways,
you know what? We'll see how it goes. Here's what I would ask your viewers and ask you is we make this as big as we can on our end. And you know, they like to say things like we won't stop or whatever. Well, we won't either. We keep pushing this. We promote this. We literally publicize this as best we can, as much material as we can get out there on this, about this fight that he agreed to, and let as many people know about it. And we'll see how he answers it. If he wants to do it, he'll do it. If he don't, he won't. But ultimately, right now, that's where we're at. You know, so, and that's the best that I got. You know, I don't know what else to actually say on behalf of that, other than it's literally getting closer and closer. And, you know, July 9th is the time that they actually want us to officially go and sign these papers. The promoters put money behind this. The companies put money behind this. You know, this is a good event for a good community, you know, community that me and my officers love and serve, you know. So yeah, I'll take a chance on getting beat up for 9 minutes over it. I mean, it's fine. You know, you can't eat me, right? So then let's do this. You know, there's no sense in waiting. There's no sense in waiting until somebody says something else or keeps pushing you in the corner or whatever. You say you're a tough guy, then you shouldn't have a problem with me. You know, or you say you're a tough guy and you're going to do this and you're going to do that to every cop you meet. Well, here's a big hillbilly cop from Southern Ohio that's saying, okay, I call your bluff. Let's see it. Let's see that freestyle wrestling or whatever it is that you got. Let's see what all this super expertise you have on whatever. That's fine. Okay. Maybe you do. I don't know. But I can tell you this, you're going to have it to do, because I'm not going to lay down. And I can tell you, I'm going to give you everything I got. And I'm literally putting a fight camp together to where in September, when I step in there, you're going to have my best that my body and the good Lord above is able to give me. And I can assure you, it's going to be heat. So
I want him to actually do it. I've got his live stream going on in the background, and somebody just texted and asked him about it. But you got called a pig, but that's nothing new. Any cop, whatever.
Well, I mean, like, that's just it. It's like, you know, everybody likes to comment and say, oh, you know, they laugh or whatever, and they say about that. I'm saying, well, then why are you so defend? If your guy is so great, then what's the point of being like that? Be happy. You know, you're saying that we're this and we're that, and your guy should just mop the floor with me. So talk him into it. Remind him, Chille, you're a tough guy, man. You're going to beat this hillbilly cop up to death, bud. Okay. So talk him into it. This is to the Chille followers.
Oh, yeah.
He literally tells you guys how tough he is and how we don't stop. I love a fight. I love a fight. I love a fight. Okay. Well, you've got one. And we're going to do it for the right reasons. So we'll see. Do you really love it? Do you really love it? Because if you don't, it's going to show. And if you do, then we'll see. September's going to tell the tale. Like I said, it's a great big lie detector shaped in an octagon.
You want my observation here?
Sure.
All right.
Sure.
Well, I can tell you off camera, you know, about me. You already know who I really am in real life, but yeah. One of the things I've learned is you don't mess with the country boy, especially the Midwest and Appalachia, good old boys. You're definitely corn-fed. You can definitely tell that just by looking at it. Uh, Tough old SOBs, just in general. When I was in the Marines, anytime that you would see somebody from California or New York City, all these guys that are thinking, oh, they're just a bunch of hillbillies. Oh, they're inbred. You know, and they'd run their mouth, especially if alcohol was involved in either party. The East or West Coasters always got their ass kicked. Always. Never without fail. Never. I've watched you, you know, on Kick's interview and on this one, and your body language, the way you've talked before stream when you and Dutch were talking and all that, and you know, you're not exhibiting any signs of lying, anything like that. You're pretty straightforward. You say you when I've tried to digress away from a little bit, you've pulled it back on to coursework. No, it's just about the fight. It's about this, you know, hey, let's get it on. Let's, you know, it's all
Sure.
about this. I'm not worried about you, Chille, but whatever it is, I'm not accusing or anything like that. Where like I'm on it, like Chille, you're a fucking criminal grifter and a liar. You're probably gonna pussy out of it. You're honest, you're there and you're doing it. You're more interested in, you know, doing for charity, you know, giving Chille a chance to, you know, prove you wrong in the ring and all that stuff
Sure.
for the most part. And and in a lesser extent, you know, just humiliate his ass in the ring. Like you want to be a dipshit and all that. My gun and badger off. Here we are, just me and you, Chille. Bring it.
See,
Let's use the
yep.
man. And
You know,
it's a lose-lose situation for him. He's either going to lose in the social circles and the social media for pushing down and moving from one scam to another and lying about it, and he's going to have excuses, or he's going to get in the ring with the big old boy without his gunner and a badge, and for 9 minutes, 3 rounds each, 3 minute rounds, and if he makes it, he's going to be sorry the next day, but most likely he's going to be tapping out or knocked out within the first round. I have no doubt about it. That just, and I'm sitting
yeah,
there while seeing this, I'm watching Chille. He's got to be on camera all the fucking time.
yeah. He
Yeah,
likes it. So.
he's got this big old fucking hand cannon. He's strapping it on, putting it on his right hip, right front, under his t-shirt, strapping it on right now. Literally. It's fucking 44. And Chille, I hate to tell you, in a real gunfight, unless you really hit somebody. Oh no, he's open carrying. Ohio's constitutional, or is it constitutional carry, open carry in June?
You know what? It's not even about that. Me as a gun guy, literally, in my opinion, if you're open carry and you're not thinking things through very well, in my opinion. You know, because honestly, I don't like anybody to know that I have a gun, because then the reality is, and I learned this a long time ago. We learned this after the academy, but a lot of tactical training I had. You know, we were doing that, and they were kind of preaching in our head, and they were saying, you know, whose gun is this? Whose gun is this? You know, and of course, all of us young guys were like, it's my gun, you know, because that's what you think they want to hear when they're literally screaming at you and stuff. And one of the instructors looks at us and says, nah, that gun belongs to whoever gets to it first. And the problem is, when you open carry, and I'll say this, and I'll teach this in my classes, when you open carry, that gun's already in play. You're never going to be in a fight that's not a gunfight anymore, because you're bringing the gun to the fight. And it's dangerous. It's reckless, in my opinion. Don't carry open. Hide that thing.
Going house to house. He's going house to house talking to people, random, after he put that fucking gun on. Sorry, you're right.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, seriously, he shows up at my house like that because he find out who I am with that gun. Bullets are going through the fucking door.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you would think you're begging for trouble when you do that, but that's, you know, when you go around knocking on people's door with a gun, it's probably not real wise. But he's never really given any examples of great wisdom that's thus far. So, you know,
he's proven that he's fucking psychotic, he's paranoid, delusional, and he's always talking about, you know, how in the middle of violence he's there for it. You know, The only thing I've done is said words to him, say like he showed up at my house or whatever. The only thing is that I got dogs. Somebody told him where it is, and he's come for a confrontation. Dude, I'm a fucking disabled vet. Guess what? You just fucking gave me legal justification under Texas law to fucking shoot your ass, which I don't want to do. But you know what? Fuck that. Some man shows up on my doorstep with a gun. Hey, I'm not opening the door. I'm calling the cops, and I'm getting my gun waiting there. But for him, no.
Yep.
Sorry, I'm like tripping on the shit. Like, dude, you're going to get
No, I get you.
shot.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah, and I you know, his overall practices of everything, honestly, I mean, it's his right, his opinion, whatever he wants to do. I don't really care.
Oh, I know.
You know?
I'm looking
And
at it
that's
like that's the way I know him.
yeah, and
Sorry.
it's kind of like with me, like I'm looking at it like let's put aside all the differences. Let's put aside the fact that you think that I'm a tyrant or whatever. I don't know. And all the nasty things you've said about me and the other officers of my department or whatever. And let's just realize that we might have an opportunity to do something good. That's it. That's it. So let's do it.
I don't know if you can see the screen or not with his little nasty face.
No, I can't see it.
Oh, of course it's on him. You can see he's up on somebody's porch and he's animated and all that.
Yeah, I don't watch his channel just because, you know, like I said, I don't agree with him. I don't agree with him politically, so because of that, I just don't really feel the need to really watch him. So
he's actually he on camera and all that shit in front of people. He's basically a carpetbagger or a chameleon. He'll switch his colors to suit the narrative, but in all actuality, he's a liberal. He believes in the Second Amendment, but he's a liberal.
Right. Well, what I've learned in my experience, and I'm not by any means an expert, and I don't pretend to be, but what I've learned is a lot of those libertarian guys, they go so far right, they end up coming back left.
Yep.
Because the truth of it is, when you start getting so outrageous with some of your views and your beliefs, you kind of end up going right back to that super left liberal, it's none of my business. I don't care how somebody feels about their political stance or whatever. But when it gets to the point where it interferes with the rights of others, then it kind of does become my business. And I kind of feel like that's what he does. He's always talking about I'm for rule of law, but he calls himself delete laws. And he speaks about stuff of how he feels this way or that way, but everything he does feels like it's kind of contradicting. The best I can tell is like, I don't really think that's really how you feel. So. But that's kind of and honestly, and I'm going to have to cut this short so much because I do have the evening stuff to do here and the wife duty and the kids and stuff, whatever. But if your viewers can do this and support, come check out LEADUCATOR 810, like and subscribe. And I'll keep everybody posted on what I know. I know your channel's doing so. I know over at Keeping It Criminal, they're going to do so. And there's going to be some others. But the more that we can get this covered, the more we can get this shared, the more we can get our side of it out there. It gives him the opportunity to where he's being faced with it and he doesn't have the ability to be able to have the deniability and say, oh, well, that didn't happen. Or, oh, they didn't reach out to me. They did. And I have, documents to show so. I mean, literally, I know for
he'll be confronted with it here before the end of June on camera.
Good.
We'll have video of it. So regardless, it will be on camera. And
awesome.
I'll be texting when you get here the next day or two just to let you know what's up. But
awesome.
Yeah, Dutch Doyle's going to reach out to you. If you don't mind, I'll give him your number and all that.
Sure. Yeah, he can text me.
All right, that's cool.
All right. Well, I
appreciate it. Sorry for all the technicalities and all that, but hey, it's the barn girl stupidity. Something always stupid happens, malfunction or whatever. Well, how much I planned, it happens. I appreciate you coming up and all that.
Man, I appreciate you having me. Like I said, I'm just trying to get our voice out and whatever. And I feel like we're doing something that could be good. And I think this is his opportunity to join with us for once and actually say, let's do something good for a good charity. Let's do it.
yeah, anything you need help with, whatever, or it's this or whatever, just reach out to us. You know, you got our support.
Well, I appreciate it very much. And honestly, I'm very humbled for the support that I have gotten, you know, from different, you know, YouTube channels and people, you know, reaching out to me and telling me the support and stuff. It really is a humbling feeling, but I just hope we can put this together, man. I really want to do this, and I hope he does too. So let's get the word spread. Let's get the information spread. You know, like I said, like and subscribe to the channel, and we can get more people going and more information put out there. And if nothing else, you get to see, you know, an old fat guy get back in shape, because I document my my struggles along the way as well. So, but definitely appreciate the support and you having me on. And in the meantime, anything that comes up, I will keep everybody posted.
And let's see, right now we got your count up to 237 subscribers. So, woohoo! Like quadrupled that in just what, less than 2 weeks, just for saying something on one of my videos. But anyways,
yeah,
thank you. You're definitely a hero of mine. And
well, I appreciate it.
I talked to from Ironton, I've only had 2 people that I've ever engaged with on social media that are like negative, screw the pigs. And of course, most likely they got a, you know, conviction or whatever. They've done something stupid, or somebody they love has done something stupid that have gotten them in trouble with the law on their own merit. But everybody else, they support you guys. So it's just, I would say 98% of Ironton and everybody supports you. It's that 5% or less that you always have problems with.
Sure.
But anyways, I appreciate it, dude. We'll go ahead and get out of here.
Thank everybody for watching. And like I said, we'll keep you posted.
All right. Thanks a lot. All right. Bye.
All right. Bye.